guess to kick things off, do you sense a special buzz around this camp, primarily because Mate's making the debut?
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see him. I know you guys are. I mean, everybody behind those doors are pumped. And what I saw today, there's a reason to be excited. A lot of skills, a lot of intensity. You can tell he doesn't speak much English, but you can tell he wants to be a difference maker. And I know it's one practice, but I'm impressed.
We've seen a lot of guys kind of getting in little bust-ups and skirmishes in front of the net, and you can feel the energy is really intense. Do you feel like there's a real palpable sense of like these guys are really fighting for a spot?
Yeah, for sure. That was my message to them. Like, I want intensity. I don't want any fighting, but like, I know what you're talking about, McDonald. There are a couple. I know we all saw that. Guess what? We did. So the boss too. Like, Danny saw it. Torch saw that, and that's part of his game. I enjoyed him last year when he came to us in the playoffs and down the stretch there. He brings that intensity. He's in your face. He's physical. He put weight on this summer. He looks great, and that's his role, and that's why he was intense today. And I didn't talk to Torch yet, but I'm sure he really enjoyed that.
Can guys like that, Mitchkoff, you mentioned about the competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's obviously mixing it up out there.
Mm-hmm.
Can they kind of drive the overall feel of camp on the ice when you have guys that are that intense out there?
For sure. And, I don't think I play with young, special players like that, but I'm sure when you do have a guy like that, Mitchkov and even McDonald in camp, for those veterans, it just shows where the organization is going and how excited it is. And, it brings the intensity up, like with the skill level and the intensity. And I'm sure those guys are going to, next week, we have to worry about rookie camp right now, but next week when main camp starts, when they see that kid jump on the ice, it's going to be probably those guys are going to crank it up to another level.
With Matt, I'm sure you had a chance to watch clips of him on video, but
yep.
When you actually get him in front of you, like, what jumps off the page about him from a skill standpoint?
Well, quick hands. We saw that on video. It's the same thing, but when you see it live, it's even more impressive. Not to go back, but everybody's got so much expectation on the kid. It's a different league. The NHL's the NHL. Rookie camp is rookie camp. He's going to be great. He's going to be fine. But my point is, it's going to take time. Maybe it's not like, I don't care who you are. You don't jump into the NHL and dominate. It's the best league in the world for a reason. But after one day, and even last week when I was here watching him on the ice, it's impressive. He's 19 years old to be that young and that skill, and he's got a bright future in front of him. And he's to get the right coaching staff to teach him how to be a pro. It's one thing to dominate wherever he was last year in the KHL, but to come at this level, you need more than just the offensive flair or the nice little hands or plays that he makes. There's a full game around it, and he's got the perfect coaching staff for that.
He has this week, he has next week,
Mm-hmm.
and he has the season. Like, how do you kind of make sure he's pacing properly?
It's going to come. I mean, it's surrounding the people, and again, it goes with the coaching staff. They're going to know when to push him, when to not pull him, but to give him being off him if you want a little bit, like pressure-wise. But for sure, by experience, looking back, I think for sure he's going to have ups and downs. But when you're skilled like that, you have more ups and downs. So I think there's, and again, I want to go back to what he's surrounded with. You got a guy like Danny, too. Danny played a long time. He was a superstar in our league. He can relate to him. And I'm sure Danny's going to be involved with that.
It looks like you had Mishkov kind of playing with Jetlichenko.
Yeah.
Are you guys pretty intrigued to maybe see those two together?
Yeah, well, we all have bosses, so they told me they play together. So I won't take the blame or the credit for that, but even that's another guy, a Jet. He's impressive, with his speed. He's got the right name because he flies out there, and I'm excited to see him too. Like, he's years away of turning pro, but these are the kids you hear about, especially us, like down there in Allentown. Like, I'll be honest, I don't have time to watch those kids in the winter. I got my own team to worry about. But when I see him in camp live, I can see what they saw in him last year, and I'm excited to see him in a game tomorrow. That's a kid I watch on tape there just because, everybody talks about him, where he plays on the power play on the bumper, which rarely you'll see forwards do that. I'm I love what I see like everybody else, but I really like the kid. Like, you talk to him on the ice, he always has the right question. He wants to do it right. And a lot of those kids, especially when they meet us for the first time, they don't want to bother us. They don't want to talk to us. They're shy. But this kid's like right in my face, and he's asking, "Kid, that's what you want us to do." And I love that. It's the new hockey. If you want, you need to be personal with your players, and he's taking advantage of that for sure.
You have a couple of guys here, like Emil Andre
Mm.
and Samu, and guys that you coached last year.
Mhm.
What is the purpose of maybe they're a little older coming here, and what are you hoping to see from them on this?
For me, for this week, it's leadership. Like I need, like the drills we did today are the drills that I do during the year. I'm not reinventing the game, but those guys know those drills. Same with Denoyer, Wisdom. I need those guys to take charge. Grant's the same way, and they did. And those two guys, like Andy and Samu, I noticed today they're quicker, and I'm proud of them because after your first year pro, a lot of kids are like, "Yeah, I figured it out." And they went home, they didn't think like that. They went home and put the work in. And I know it's one practice. I don't want to get too excited, but I noticed a difference in their speed and their quickness. And Andy looks like he lost a little bit of weight, put a little bit more muscle on, and it shows on the ice. And for me, it's great maturity. You realize that after 1 year pro, and you better yourself in the summer. And again, it shows today.
I think when we talked back in,
It's okay.
when we talked back in May, I believe it was Emil who said that he wanted to work on his skating and.
He did, though.
and his quickness.
Yeah, for sure he did. And I know for a fact because I grabbed him after practice and I asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I changed my training program." But for me, it's maturity. It's easy. Like, he had a good year last year. It's easy to go home and say, "I figured it out." And next step, I'll go into the NHL. But usually those guys don't make it. But Andy went back home and worked on his weakness, which was his quickness a little bit. And again, I'm excited to see him play tomorrow.
What did you see out of Massimo Rizzo? To me, he looked stronger.
Was stronger. I joke with him because last year he came to us and he didn't skate because he had an injury. So I'm like, "Well, I'm looking forward to see you skate, buddy. I know you had our breakfast and our lunch, but now you can't get." And we're laughing. It's just, try to be funny. And but he's all skills, great hands. I can't wait to see what the pace of his game. College is a different game than even at our level in the AHL. Like, tomorrow's going to be a little taste of. I'm going to be able to answer that question a little bit better tomorrow. But first impression's great. I had a great first impression last year when I met him. Now it was the first time I saw him on the ice, and I like him. That's another kid who has great question, and he wants to be out there. He wants to make a good first impression, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play in a game.
Going into these rookie games, Danny told us a couple months ago that Mafe, barring something, is going to be on the NHL team. But for you, going into these rookie games, who are the other guys who you're looking at to see if they might be ready to make the jump this camp?
Well, for me, I'm looking for the guys. I'll be selfish. The guys that played for me last year. What step did they take this summer? Like, I'm looking forward to see Denoyer. Desi, I love the kid. I do. I want my job is to find answers for those kids. We had a great talk at the end of the year last year. I can't wait to see, and I see it already. He looks good in practice today, but in a game, is he improving what we talked about? And these are the kids I'm looking for. Like Grant, same thing. Grant's in the playoffs. I sat him out in the last game in the playoffs, and he's not happy about that. Well, what'd you do this summer? Did you do something to change my thinking, our thinking? So I'm looking for. I know it's rookie games, but I'll be able to tell a lot tomorrow.
Who are the guys that you're hoping? You've said this last year. There's some guys who you're hoping you don't necessarily get to coach again. You want to coach them.
Well, I won't coach Mitchkov. I can tell you that right now. I'll put money on that. If anybody wants to bet. Well, Andy, with the work he put in this summer, and we talked about that, that's a kid who started the year last year, Andrea. He played 4 games or 5 games for the Flyers, and he wants to be here. And again, I don't blame them. I didn't dream about playing in the AHL either, so their dream should be making this team, and if it doesn't work out, they come to me. But that's one guy, and, other guys like Oli Lexel, Genning, they're all Swedes. I like those Swedes too, but these are the guys that I feel like they're close to make it, and that's a big camp for all those guys. And hopefully I won't see them.
What do you think of all the fans here
There we go.
today?
It's,
Not normal for
I'm not surprised though. Like I know this town. I've been here for 15 years. When people in town get excited about players and the way the direction of the team's going, the way with Jonesy and Danny, what they're doing, I think everybody's excited. I don't think I remember seeing 4 cameras here. I'll be honest with you. It's my 3rd or 4th rookie camp, and I've never seen that many. I think it's a great sign, and it's a great town, and I'm glad they're excited. I'm excited too. You know, I'm only an hour and 20 minutes away, so I follow the Flyers too. So I'm excited to see those young prospects being part of the future.